lot of talking about nothing. About nothing. I'm all for the most high. Believe that. Keep the commandments and the faith of Christ. Same devil, different hoes to you. Walking through the valley of the dry bones. I got steel toes to both my shoes. These like composites. I run with the prophets. We streets, we up. Life is a test in the Bible. Got all of the answers you need like a cheat sheet. My target, the low sheet. You cooling for Gentiles. There's treason. The word for the darkness. Soldier of Christ. I'm projecting the light like a beacon. Sweat out some whites. Make sure it's fluorescent. The words of my mouth is a weapon. Ain't no subliminal. Straight to the point. You play if you want this. The year you don't catch it. Trying to catch you fast and sketchy. No returns like bad investment. All of these melanin flooding my DNA. I got the gold for free of my essence. Nothing but lions that hang in my section. Kings and queens when I rip with my brethren. This was so hard to clean out of my presence. Can't get attention unless you're elected. Extended the clip out 14. At 66, still I'm already hell. Trying to be deep and wonderful. End up in a deep and wonderful part of hell. I'm eating, believe that it's kosher. By myself, stepping young like a Noah. Cut the head off of a cobra. Israelites, we taking over, the gospel is gold. There's a hope for all of my pros. I pointed your deal on the diabetes. I'm bringing no symphony or a symphony when I come with the stick like a violin. Your book of Acts, 80-20, you can't pay for this. Out in the outer darkness, you won't make this. They say that y'all believe in God and then they make it seem right. They into Christ, I'm into atheists. Ain't no remorse for these devils. 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 They say that y'all believe in God and then they make it seem. They into Christ, I'm into atheists.
Shalom, shalom, shalom. I hope everybody had a good Sabbath. I hope you slept good last night and all the above. So, at first, I wanted to do like a little build, just, get brothers and sisters that were in the chat and, just, you know, uh, speak about random things, whatever, do a little build. But brothers and sisters, I got something I need to talk about, man, and this is I was just looking up random little news and stuff. Sometimes I like to look up news, and I came across an article, and the article is called "White Students Face Backlash for Gangsta Night Event." Now, I read a nice amount of it, but the audacity for them claiming uh for them claiming like they were appalled that they would get backlash for this, right? So let's get into it. And if you in there, even after on the replay, leave your comments, man, because this is type of stuff. When I get into this type of stuff, we need to talk about it. Okay. In today's episode of Are the Whites Okay? A rural and overwhelming white New York town has reminded us how commonplace blatant racism is predominantly white spaces where the inhabitants of those spaces are left to their own devices. It's the kind of environment where high school students can organize Gangsta Night. All right. And no one sees a problem. Well, no one who isn't black anyway. Now, shalom to the chat again. Now, look, check this out, man. I'm gonna keep reading, okay? According to the New York Times, months ago at Windsor Central High School in Windsor, New York, white students organized a theme event at a basketball game where they dressed as Crips and Bloods. Hold up. Hold up. You hear what they say? They dressed up as Crips and Bloods, complete with accessories that allowed them to be walking black stereotypes without a thought in their head about the people they were characterizing. Now that's a problem. I understand it's our job to, get on our people as a whole. I understand that. I understand that. That's cool. Especially when um, we out here acting crazy, right? I understand that 100%. But these people are blatantly out here dressed up as Crips and Bloods with the whole get up. It I skipped down a little bit. It say they had some fake teardrop tattoos. Others wore shower caps. Do you see what kind of stereotypes they got about us? You see that? Shower caps, white tank tops, and oversized jeans that expose their underwear. I don't know about I don't know about you people, but when I see my brothers dressing anything like this, well, I just don't see us walking around with shower caps. So you see what they doing, right? They really sneak this is right here in our face. But as we get on into this article, we'll see that they're kind of like, oh my God, how dare you people say that? All right, look, it says they may have been trying to imitate blackness, but based on the Times description, it was the whitest shit ever. So they already know they can't even be us if they try. But the thing is, that is the whitest things ever. That is. Come on, man. They got the audacity to basically claiming us as gangsters. Come on, man. I know I'm not the only person. I know I'm not the only person out here that see the things that they try to portray us as. But everybody know who the real gangsters are. We know that. That's why, I understand why we got a lot of brothers out here that's like, man, I don't rock with these other nations at all. I understand why. It's the blatant disrespect that's really, kind of up there for me. It says they even had fake teardrop tattoos and think about it like this. We didn't make up, oh well, teardrops mean you did this. That's man that all of these fads and stuff like that stuff be already modified coming from the enemy, the real enemy. You know what I'm saying? Right there. Savages. The real savages. But they the real savages though. Look, so it says, here's another thing the Times noted that wouldn't surprise anyone who's never debated whether daily showers are necessary. This is why when images of Gangsta Night, a student organized event at a basketball game, surfaced online this winter and spurred a local debate as to whether they were racist. Let me read that. Let me read this again, man. This is why when images of Gangsta Night, a student organized event at a basketball game, surfaced online this winter and speared a local debate as to whether they were racist. Many white residents there seemed surprised and defensive, while people of color in town interviewed for this story were insulted, and yet they weren't surprised at all. Man, look, man, they were surprised and on the defense because there's a debate. Are you guys racist, man? And this is the reason why they try to make it everything that we do. They try to make it seem as if, oh, well, this is where killing came from, and this is where this and oh, well, you're just being racist because you're trying to say that it's our fault that what happened. What don't the Bible say that you, you're gonna your ancestors your children are gonna reap the benefits for what you did, and they get defensive when you bring out the truth every time, anytime. Brother Leon, um, if you can walk me through it, how to put the link to there, I'll open it up. I always open it up for y'all, brothers. I'm baby stepping over here is one thing. So if you can guide me through it, I'll slap this mug on there, and yeah, because I definitely I really want to see the reaction of some of the brothers, man. It come on, dog. This is what now when I read this part, this is when I was like, you know what? We could do a build another day. This is something that got to be exposed. Many white residents here seem surprised and defensive, while people of color, we already know what's up. It's the invite thing. Post in the chat. Okay. Salakia. Exactly. Khan. Cry loud, spare not. All right. Um, y'all gotta give me a second because I really want to open up. I really do want to do this. This got to be done. So let me read some more, okay? This is basically a microism of what America generally is. White people being racist, then getting fragile when they're called out on it, and people of color being aggravated but unsurprised. Just like brother New Breed that said, remember he's on that song, he said, it's an anomaly how we can still sit and be compassionate after all they put us through. That's right here in front of our face, man. And then when you call them out on it, it's your fault. You know, I don't get it, man. I don't get it. All praise to the Most High, though. It's really a blessing that we were chosen to wake up at this time, man. Really is. Okay, let me back up here. Boom, hold up, brother Leon. The service said, I guess we need to dress up as skinheads and debate if we racist. That's what I'm saying, man. I like what y'all want from us. Like, do is if we just blatantly went out there and just started, going out there, we hate you crackers. We gonna kill y'all. You know, you're going into slavery. Now, is something wrong with that? When the scriptures already give us certain, y'all know what the scriptures say, but it's wrong when we get on that with them, though, right? Con. Yeah, brother Lee, I do that. So I'm gonna keep going. All right. So it says Windsor Central High School has only one black staff under what's her name? Kashif Summers, coach of the girls basketball team. He says at least half of all of his all-white team participated in the event. I could be petty and point out the he said I could be petty and point out how white a school must be when there are no black people on the basketball team, but I'm a chill. See, when we get on that with them, now it's a big problem. You know what I mean? Bro said, Devon Lee said, bruh, definitely a conundrum, dilemma of not, if not even addressing the truth and proof of the reality, right? Man, listen, I'm starting to come to a big agreement with myself that if you don't know what's going on, that it's not that you don't want to know. You want to be in oblivion. That's it, period. Especially with the generation that is ahead of us right now and the ones that is us for the most part. It's like if you don't if shut up. If you don't want to admit the wrongs, not only that for Hispanics and blacks and Native Americans, but even to your own as far as lying. If you don't want to realize that, hey, I've been lied to, and why have I been lied to? Well, there's something that that these brothers have been talking about, and it seemed about accurate. You know, the Bible is not lying about these certain things that's going on in the world, and you still want to live in oblivion. You might as well be a part of them because what the scriptures say, the world's gonna hate us, correct? So if I'm speaking something, and it's always tickling your ears, 9 times out of 10, it ain't really what it seems to be. I'm just gonna be for real. That's why when I'm supporting other brothers panels, if they not pissing people off, then I don't, maybe I don't know, or maybe you just know how to, you know, get along with everybody. Con, ignorance, ignoring is ignorant, right there. And brothers, dead on point. Ignorance is not bliss. I'm telling you. Actually, being ignorant is the reason why so many of our people are out here and in their songs saying, "I'm retarded, I'm ignorant, I go dumb, I'm a fool for the paper." You see what I'm saying? Putting these wicked inclinations right into our whole in our system, period, and not even understanding it. Yeah. Okay. Yep. That's what I was waiting for, brother Leon. So before I keep reading, yeah, but back on what this comment right here, what brother Leon, I mean brother Divine Lee said. Ignorant is not bliss, and ignorance isn't bliss. There's no reason why we should be able to be so um, comfortable with knowing that the whole world, not just a couple people, a couple nations, the whole world then went against us. The whole world, bro. But we still sitting here and like comfortable. So, con. Um, Let me go out. Let me go back real fast. So it says, uh, Summer said that after the Caucasity calamity event was over, he messaged the students on the team's group chat to express how it offended him. He said no one responded, which makes sense because these white folks love black culture. Saying they caring about black people tends to be too much of a hassle to wrap their color radicated minds around. This is oh man. Chat. Can somebody explain to me what's going on, please? Somebody. I'm baffled, man. Can somebody please explain somebody? Cause sometimes his will go off the Richter scale with this. But I'm looking at it right here, and the young brother, he brought out some real points. He says, but it's just not the students, of course. It's also the white parents who defended their spawn as innocent and told black people to get the F over it. This is how they feel about it. And you can't say I'm lying. This is exactly what they do. This is what they've been doing for centuries. This is what they've been doing for centuries. It says the parents who defended their spawns as innocent told black people to get the fuck over it. Excuse my French. To get over it. But that ain't nothing new to us. This is the same thing that they saying right now. They got so much money to give the Ukrainians and all of that, right? But when you start talking about reparations, oh, we ain't got enough money for that. Oh, well, we understand that your ancestors went through that, but you didn't go through it. Y'all need to get over that. Is this not what I'm seeing? Hold on real fast, family. Is that not what I'm seeing though? I don't know, man. Maybe I'm just overthinking it. Let's see. Invite, copy. Okay. Let's see. Um, sorry, people. Sorry, brothers and sisters. Oh, there we go. So here we go. But yeah, I got the link in there. Anybody want to come on? Um, come with it. So I'm about to keep reading, right? Before I keep on, let me read this. Brother Devon Lee said, "Entertaining fools is giving attention to the haughty, making them get bolder in their stance, like they can do no wrong." You, this is exactly what is going on, right there. Come on. So even if we were supposed to get over these things, right, and we got over them, they would basically be saying about time these niggers, about time these niggas realize that we won. It's almost like you get into a fight with somebody, right, and you could have whooped them, so you want your rematch, but they ain't trying to give you the rematch. They gonna tell you, hey, we won. I won, man. Just get over it. We just get over it. It's the past now. I know I snuck you, and I know fairly with a fair fight, you could win. But you know what? Nah, just get over it. We're all equal now. This is exactly the foolishness that they got going on. Yeah. Let me see. Okay, that's for anybody that want to pop in. Let me see. We got who we got in. We got in here. We got brother Nelly, son of Yah. Thank you for showing up, bro. We got Divine Lee artist, Leon the servant, Nelly, son of Yah. My bad, I already said that. 88 Soul in the building. Shalom. Thank you guys for showing up. So they go on to say some of these adults are saying, uh, "Oh, you're just making a fun thing that kids do over clothes as a major issue." Summer said, "But it is a major issue. It is a major issue." Oh, am I missing something? These parents, right? That this lady said, "Oh, you're just making a fun thing that kids do with clothes as a major issue." But Summer said, "But it is a major issue. Let me ask you a question. Are you going to be looked at as a threat in those clothes to get stopped by the police or harassed? And if I do it, I'll get ripped apart." We got to wake up and realize that everything, what they call that, collateral, I mean, a collateral collagen. I'll think of the word. Maybe one day we get back on this topic. I'll bring it up. But they basically then made it to where everything that we do is BS. Yup, reinforcing harassment behaviors. Everything. That's why it's important that we understand, you know, not only just the mystery of iniquity, but how to ponder without this paranoia. Because these are the things that we know, but we don't really analyze them. So we always wondering, well, why am I feeling like this? But the vibe is what it is. Energy is up there. You can't kill energy. So no matter how many um politicians come in here and try to make it seem like Black Lives Matter to them, all of that stuff, all that bull is out the window. The jig is up when it comes to that. But if we realize how to uh, not focus on it, but know when to spot it out, it's very helpful for us. Because don't be a fool and don't think that, oh nah, that's just the people in New York that's thinking like that. Nah, these are people all over the world, all over this country. When they see us, when they see you, when they see you with one of your brother's shirts on, and and you supporting your own, and the material that he got, it ain't gonna make you walk around here looking thuggish, looking like, or looking thuggish or like a homo. You're gonna look like a man, a whole man. And it pisses them off. It make them people, they be really mad. Like, who do they think they are? Who this uppity nigga? Who this uppity female? Who does she think she is, walking around here in um in some modest apparel? Who did this Negro think he is? He needs to shave off that beard because that looks ruggish. You see what I mean? This is what they got. This is what they got going on. Yup, hissing, straight hissing snakes. That's exactly what they are, snakes. Con. And anybody up here, I support my brothers. Y'all need to check out. Uh, oh, okay, there we go. Okay, I just seen that, brother. I just seen that, brother Leon. We need to support. We need to start supporting our own. You know, point blank. Period. That's it, man. If you watching this, go and check out brother Divine Lee merchandise, man. Listen, It's we gonna go spend same amount of money for something that ain't gonna never go back to any of our people. Spend the money slowly. Get. Look, the Bible says we supposed to buy and sell from one another. So if you got people out here that got businesses and stuff, and you got brothers and sisters out here that got businesses, you can get connected with them. Do it. If the Most I put it on your spirit, do it. But we supposed to be doing these things, man. That's just facts. Support our own, exactly. Exactly. We got to support our own. Let me keep going. I almost went on a little rampage. Um, and matter of fact, this might be a good time because I can read with the brother. No, you have all right. Um, now you are so okay. So sorry about that. I'm trying to get brother Leon on. Uh, I'm not good at this. I really suck at this. Did Hey brother Leon, did you get the link in the chat? Okay. Boom. Oh, okay. Oh. So,
Hey, Shalom, Shalom, man. I was like, he gonna figure it out. We gonna get this right today.
yeah, I ain't really too savvy with this. So,
um,
bro, before we go on, let people know what's up. Let the people know what's up, man.
Shalom, shalom, family. It's your brother Leon, the servant. I mean, everyone in the chat seems like they know who I am, but just to give you the short, real quick of it. I'm a young brother in the faith who've been doing this for about 2 years or so. When I talk about certain different topics, concepts that a lot of our people struggle with, either during the Bible or politically or things of the like. I also make music, poetry. I have some things on SoundCloud at Leon the Servant, and I also have some poetry on my page, Leon the Servant, as well. So if you guys are interested in that, check it out. Got a whole bunch of different topics ranging from purity to different spirits and how to get them off of you and things of the like. And also just common day-to-day things like self-mastery. So that's just long and short of it. I think that's good, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I ain't savvy with this, but we gonna get it together. So, man, listen, bro. What do you, man? I haven't even read the whole article yet, but give me your insight, man. What?
You saw my little playful banter I put it up in the chat, and practically for anyone who's catching it right now, I practically said, well, Ox said that they were dressing up as thugs and gangsters and stuff of the like, and they was debating whether or not this was like derogatory or racist to those minority groups that they were impersonating. And I said, well, I guess we got to start dressing up as skinheads and rednecks and then debate whether or not this racist. you know? And it made me think, I mean, I was thinking back to this might be a little deep for some people, but to the fact that the words thugs and divas actually goes back to ancient Indian practices, and they're also as known as Buddhist demons. The word thug and diva, you can actually chase it back that far. I actually pulled up something real quick, if you don't mind. I'm going to
Yeah,
share
go
this.
ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Let me see. Share. All right. So I just did some little thing in the background. Y'all can see that, right? It should be it. All right, now you got to add it up. So just the way same way you added me up, add that up.
Boop.
There you go. All right.
Hey.
So this right here real quick, and you see it says thuggies or thugs, right? And it says the thugs or thuggies were history most notorious and deadly criminal cult. The name thug or thuggy or thug or tuggy is derived from the Sanskrit or Sithag and Peli Tak. This means to hide or conceal, mainly a discreet concealment. Thugs were Hindu and Muslim Indians whose thugs cult was based on the worship of goddess Kali. Kali is a destructive and create, creative mother goddess in the Hindu religion. So I'm just showing like this, these words that they cast on us and things of that sort are actually way before way
Yeah,
before us, and they try to put these spiritual chains on us by giving us these names and giving us these things. But also, I wanted to bring something out like we ourselves don't even dress up to be thugs and gangsters. That's not even what we want to do. Now we might buy a chain, which historically, and even when you go back to ancient Hebrews, that is normal that we wore chains, crowns, jewels. That's us. That is
con-
us. Um, but the way that they try to always portray us as these people who are uncivilized, but then they want to be these uncivilized people. It is actually like a conundrum in itself, and the aspect of it is wild. It's real life wild, and then they like, well, it's not really racist. You
yeah,
know what I mean? It's not really trying to demean because they don't know no better, or when they do know better, they can't actually understand that what their fathers did and their fathers' fathers did, they inherited lies, like the scripture said.
yeah, con,
They followed false ideologies. And by doing such, and by them perpetuating, they're adding on to these curses. And they don't understand when Christ coming back, he coming back with a sword, man. And
con.
anyone who's not bowing the knee, they getting done up.
You know,
So
you
what?
know, just like just like you said, man. What was that? Jeremiah 16 and 19. This is exactly what's going on, but they don't want to admit it. They know that the lies of this United States, of the land of the free, all of that, they know it's been lied. They know it's been set up so it could be only them that rise, you know, especially as the men, you know. But then they play this mind game, to the big points of, well, you're bringing this out, so you're the reason why this world is how it is because of people like you and your thoughts.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I brought up Jeremiah 16:19. If you want to read that, bring that up real quick for him.
Yeah, con. Yeah. Jeremiah 16 and 19.
If you want, no, I got it. I got it in the thing. Just add it up. Just like how you added me up, add that
Oh
up.
yeah.
I shared it.
Okay. All right. I gotta
I
keep
got
my
you.
eye on you.
I'm quick with it. I got you. I got you. All right. Jeremiah 16:19. It reads, "O Lord, my strength, my fortress, my refuge, in the day of affliction, in the day of affliction, the Gentiles shall come unto thee from the ends of the earth, and shall say, Surely our fathers have inherited lies, vanity, and things wherein there is no profit."
Yep. You see? You,
Straight
you
from the scriptures, man.
straight from the scriptures, bro. And
So,
this is the reason why I wanted to touch on this topic is so we can see how deep the rabbit hole goes when it comes to this. It ain't racist no more. It ain't they can't we can't allow these people to, you know, throw that over our head and
mhm,
make us feel bad for, bringing the truth out. I'm pretty
mhm,
sure, you know, certain things go on in your life and you be like, you know what? I'm saying something about this. They not finna keep picking on me at this job. And then you get to the point you be like, I don't care about the fact that they're gonna say I need to, don't bring the race card into it. You don't care about none of that no more. We don't care.
All right, so you know what's crazy is that they had like a huge pushback recently. Let me actually let's go back to what Devon said real quick before I even go on
Yeah.
real quick. He said Devon Lee, the artist, said this. They encourage us to perform savage acts. They push the artists who talk about the deaf culture because they want us to be influenced by them to portray ourselves as such. Absolutely. Bro, it's to the point that only we ourselves, and it's hard, it's really hard, but only we ourselves know that we can do well. Only we ourselves know that we don't have to kill each other. Only we ourselves can see that we're not all savages, that we're highly educated and sophisticated. But then, guess what? We have the same cognitive bias against ourselves because that's what's perpetuated. Against ourselves because that tender love that it speaks about in Deuteronomy, that will turn evil and hatred amongst your brother. And if you guys want me to, I can bring up the script for that.
Yeah.
But I wanted to say that they don't like having that mirror brung up to them. And there was like a few months back, there was a huge debate in high schools talking about bringing into critical race theory. And if anyone who's not too familiar with that term and what that really is that practically they uh, they were bringing out in class, and this was elective in high school, or yeah, I believe it was in high school. They was going to start teaching it, and it was talking about historically through laws and legislation how they have held us back as minority groups and how they have systematically attacked us by redlining how legislation was not equal, how we still fit under that 3/5 of a human being as it says in the Bill of Rights practically. And they was getting into it, and they was showing it, and there was so much pushback because people was like, well, this isn't right, and they're just training them to be racist and everything else that sort. But we don't say anything about them training us to be atheists. We don't say anything about them training us up to look at the world through a completely European lens,
Con.
right? And that's an issue. And there was a huge amount of pushback. This was taking place back in like November, December-ish, and a little bit before then. There was a huge talk about it. I even got a book. I don't think it's up here. It's downstairs, and it kind of dives into their theology and how it brings works. And I don't agree with everything, but it definitely shows some of the history that goes behind it and how it's been systematically imposed. And when we say systematic, we don't just mean that, oh, these people are trying to hold us down, but there was actually things put in place spiritually and then followed out physically that held us down as a people.
Con.
And now that we're breaking these strongholds, we have to remember to leave them. We can't be like Lot's wife and turn back. We have to hit the plow and move forward, moving on with the knowledge that we have. We learned this. Now we have to unlearn and relearn the truth and move forward in the truth. And the things that are like, man, kind of speak up or forever hold your peace.
Yep.
Absolutely, man.
Right there.
Absolutely.
So I want to get back into this article, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we can pick up some pearls. And this, a lot of this stuff we know, but it's always good for the reminder of these type of things, man. When we
Mm-hmm.
going out there in this world, we already got to understand it's already set up against us. And it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't matter. It don't matter. It's set up against us.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it says, as as Summer alluded to his comments, black people lack the completion for protection. But boy, do these white folks possess the pigment to be ignorant.
Wow, I like whoever's writing this, man.
Yeah. Says so many white folks in America operate under the mentality that if it's not a problem for them, it's not a problem at all. I,
Yeah. Ooh,
you hear that?
wow. It's not a problem for them. It's not a problem at all. It's kind of like I was talking to one of my ox earlier, man. I was talking to Cloth Talk, and I was like, a lot of times America only sees first world problems. So they'd be like, guess what? Oh, my food is 15 minutes late. But there's other people who are living third world problems like, where is the food tonight?
Yep.
Right? And to bring this to the topic that you're saying, it's kind of like, man, if they're over here, they can't even fathom them going without food for a day. They can't fathom that they're not being a place that's going to protect them and represent them. They can't fathom the point that you can buy a nice car and you driving that car and you getting looked and eyed and looked up and down and like, you don't belong in that. Did you steal that? His first thoughts are going. I mean, you can have your car and it can have the same modifications as some of these other cars that you see always on the street, but because you have a different pigmentation, because the stereotypes of your people have been propagated in a way that you are hostile, you are violent, you are aggressive. And I think it was who I think it was Malcolm X who said it, or one of these people, but he said if Black people were as violent and hostile as they said we were, there wouldn't be any white people.
Straight up, man. No cap. For real, bro. That's oh man. You know, that's something very interesting because everything in history that has been done by the other nations, we get blamed for everything and they throw it back on us. You
Mm-hmm.
know, it's up there now. We already know the sins of, a lot of the nations, how they not only just stole our lands, they
Mm-hmm.
fed us lies, they gave us their gods, you know, killed millions and millions of us, and then
Mm-hmm.
put our obedience to being their slave as, and say, well, this is a good one. Anything outside of this, they're murderers, they're thieves, they're gangbangers, and when they're the biggest gang, they're the biggest gang in the whole world. They and
Absolutely.
not to mention that, but they're very critiqued in picking other people and influencing other people to do the same exact things.
And it kind of goes on this way, man. They will say, you know what? Why can't you guys get over this? Don't you understand that happened so many years ago? But we look at literally every other single nation in the world.
Yep.
They got some type of reparation, even if it was a penny compared to what they was supposed to be promised. We have gotten nothing ever. Every promise taken away, revoked upon, lied upon, to be silenced.
Con.
And anyone who has any understanding in economics, it only takes 2, 3 generations for your family to be destitute in poverty permanently.
Yep.
And by permanently, I mean this. I mean that you and your lineage, until someone is successful and is able to pass the wealth down, right? You guys are going to be struggling, destitute, lacking knowledge, lacking because now you guys are missing the skills to even acquire and to keep up the wealth, you know. And they don't understand that. All right, let's take it back. Let's give people a history lesson real quick, right? When these things were happening, when this nation was being built, right? And
Shalom.
they had Shalom, bro, on the second
Shalom,
chapter.
Ralo. It's a big Akian right there. Keep going, bro.
So let's give them a history lesson real quick. Let's go back to when this nation is being built. Let's just go to firefighters alone, right? When a firefighter gets schematics for new buildings that are being built, because guess what? They got to make sure that they understand it, they can operate it, they can maneuver on it. It's kind of just like how the city works in the aspect that they understand when these things are being approved. Guess what that means? If the firefighter knows that this is happening, they could put stocks, they could put money behind this business, and they can have this business help and flourish. That's also a job that we didn't have. Okay, let's talk about legislation. Well, if you don't have any person that looks like you writing the laws, well, they're not going to be written for you.
Con.
So that's another issue. Let's talk about teaching, right? Well, you can get a degree for teaching, but your degree for teaching is much shorter and the aspect of what you can learn and what they will allow you to teach.
God.
So now you don't even just have impoverished people. You don't even have people who just lack advantages, but now you have people who literally are learning less. Then on these same people, the people who are doing well for the place, for the people, right? They get
Right.
redlining, right? So property redlining, and the aspect that you were not allowed to buy. Hey, quiet. You are not allowed to buy certain pieces of land. They was literally pushing you to the worst places, and then they was making. This is how we have all these apartments and condo complexes in the hood,
Yep.
because they would just sardine us in these places because they didn't want us anywhere near them, nowhere. So guess what? We can't buy any food. We can't grow our own food because they are controlling this. I mean, it gets even more deep. It could go even deeper. I can go into a multitude of different levels on this, right? On having improper representation in the law, so that when these problems actually arise, you can't even defend yourself legally, right? But
Whoa.
but
Whoa.
just to show you that these are things that took in place and we had no parts in, right? And it was like I saw this one show. Oh, it wasn't like a show, but it was like a quick little skit. And it was like, all right, everyone starts on this line, right? And everyone starts at the same place, like on their track. And then
Yeah.
they said, if you have both parents, take 10 steps forward. Everyone black, still on the line. They said, if you if and then they start listing a lot of things, a lot of issues that we have as black people that we couldn't do. So like, let's say, for instance, if your mother makes more than 70K a year, take 10 steps forward. If your father makes 70K a year, take 10 steps forward. If you have no family, no immediate family members in jail, take 10 steps forward. And by the time it was done, people were half the track forward. And then
Wow.
then the gun says go. And
Wow.
yo, we have some of the fastest people. Yes, some of us caught up, but no one came in first. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
Because this race that's going on, we're racing against these other races, but we're not even lifting our own race up. And you know what? The proper definition for racism should be wanting to see your people doing well. Should not be the fact that you're trying to hold other nations down, but that you're trying to uphold your nation. And in
Right.
that aspect, I tell everyone to be a nationalist or racist, and the fact that you should be trying to lift your people up. Because guess what? If you bring another person into life, they're going to look just like you. That means they're going to have to go do whatever you went through. And if you don't want that, well, the best thing is to support your family. The best thing is to turn to your Elohim, your God, because
And
that's how these things are set up. Bring it up.
and definitely to pick up where you just left off at, it's always been about race. It's all in, especially in their eyes. We
At
we
least
need to,
family.
yeah, we need to see the big deception of, even even when our ancestors were in slavery, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think a lot of these Edomites, and it's like a lot of other nations, they're big on prepping, because they were prepping when we were still enslaved, and they knew sooner or later they knew, well, we can't hold these people like this at this standard too long. It ain't having. I really don't think it had nothing to do with, oh, we need to be equal and stop slavery. No, they knew that sooner or later
Well,
they
I
were
can
gonna have to.
let me elaborate on that. So what happened was, a lot of these people, when the whole Abraham Lincoln thing, they wanted to first use us to fight war. That was one reason, and it wasn't going to happen with the South. So the reason why they had to start giving us some rights, though, is because when we're fighting on those enemy lines, guess what? There is no room for racism. You don't have the opportunity, because guess what? If you're racist to me and you don't give me the ammunition, that might be a bullet in your head, right? So there
Right.
was a certain playing field that we all experience, all black men experience with the other races. And we wasn't having any less because we saw it, we had it, we attained it. So when we came back and they started acting different, like I wasn't the one who literally saved your life, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? or I couldn't have killed you and say it was the enemy. Like after all these things has happened, there was no room for them to have us retract going back. They had to move forward. They had to. They had no option. So now that we're telling people, okay, well, that all stuff happened in the past. Now let's move forward and moving on with this mindset of what we know is the truth, so we can actually do something. Because guess what? They can't stop us.
Right.
They can't. They did their best attempts, and we still found out the truth.
Yep. Yep. And just like you was talking about how they how they always been prepared for things, and that's our biggest problem. I'm not saying, well, we need to prep, but we need to have the mindset. If we want to look at this in a way of rising, financially, yeah, as we
Mm,
see that's one of their systematic things to keep us down, then we need to understand that they did this as a people. They didn't do it as an individual,
yes, and that's
whereas
another
just
big thing.
whereas just a family in one household, the whole neighborhood was a part of that nation. It was, you know what I mean? And
So
go
go
ahead.
ahead. My bad. All right. So one thing that's interesting is this, right? Us as people, we think that, oh, he made $5 million. He's not dealing with what we're dealing with. No, just because you're making 5 million a year doesn't mean that your people are doing any better. So guess what? You are still registered as a slave. You are
Yep.
still registered as impoverished, because it don't matter if one of us makes it out. It matters if the lot of us makes it out. It matters if
Uh,
a third of us makes it out, a fourth,
oh,
an
whoa,
eighth.
hold up.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey, what's
Shalom,
good?
shalom.
Shalom. Shalom. Thanks
What
for
it do,
showing
what
up,
it
bro.
do.
Thanks,
That's
Aki.
all love, man. I was over here typing too much, man. I was like, man, let me just go ahead. Hey, go ahead. I want to battle, man, with my brothers, man.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
So, bruh, before we keep going on, this our first time, So go ahead, Devon Lee. Let them know who you are, man. I'm pretty
Man.
sure they already know, but
Peace and blessings. Peace and blessings to everybody in the chat. Divinely here, you know, doing what I do best, motivating, encouraging, inspiring, giving all praise, all honor, all glory to the Most High. Man, it's just a blessing to be able to get together with my brothers, build on these topics, being able to share our experiences, and being able to come up with solutions moving forward. So, man,
Con.
all praise to the Most High, brother. Appreciate you letting me get in tune with you today.
So since you here, I want to pick up where I left off at, so we can keep this gas lit. Uh, so many white folks in America operate under the mentality that if it's not a problem for them, it's not a problem at all. Summers obviously wasn't the only black person who had a problem with the event. Students and former students who spoke to the Times not only expressed their disdain for the hueless and clueless classmates, and and whoever this reporter is getting down on that.
Yo, bro, I think this is one of our people writing this, bro. I'm
Yeah,
telling you. I'm
has
telling you,
to be.
it gotta be. It gotta be, man. It
Student
gotta
and former students who spoke to the Times not only expressed their disdain for their hueless and clueless classmates and their tasteless and racist event, but they said it was part of a larger issue of racism in a school where um, 22 out of 1,626 students are black. Now, you mean to tell me that you don't see anything wrong with this little event that they had, Gangsta Night, and all of these stereotypes that these people are wearing, and there's only 22 black people in that whole school, but they're wrong. How dare them say that we're wrong that we're being racist because our event is Gangsta Night. I'm gonna sag my pantses. I'm gonna have my big metal chains on, but that's not racist though, right?
Yeah. And
Divine Lee.
Devon, real quick, don't you remember when we did the Brew Table Talks talking about education, and we talked about HBCUs and PWIs, and how one of the things was in the HBCU, I mean in the PWI, which for anyone who's not familiar, HBCU historically black-owned colleges, right? And then PWIs is private white institutions. So these are predominantly white people going to these, or mixed nationality, but predominantly white. Was one of the issues in PWIs was like an underrepresentation for black people. They felt out. They felt excluded in the aspect that there weren't places for them to join on to.
Shalom, Nelly.
Shalom, bro.
Shalom, brother. Shalom.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, give us your input. Yeah, go ahead.
So what do you think about that, Divinely? Doesn't that sound like a similar song is playing on again?
Bro, and it's not only something that happens via internet, is we all experience it every day, especially what's been taking place these last couple of years, where you have certain people trying to pretty much demonize other characteristics because they don't behave the same way.
Right.
But when you do that, you're harassing. You're literally talking about, oh, you have a track record or something, and being us as the children of the Most High, man, we want to be represented on a higher level. We want to be able to say we walk around here with grace. We don't want to be resembled as somebody who's quote unquote a nigga. And then it's like, bro, all I can do is send forth my praises to the Most High, because I am not a product of my environment, nor do I let other people put their depiction on who I should be, in which, yeah, in a society where people can be easily influenced by this screen, to say that we're brothers cut from different cloths, man, and we don't let that influence us. But to other individuals who may not be into this sector, that influence can truly harm them. And this is something that needs to be pointed out. This is something that needs to be spoken of. Like when you think of a man, you think of somebody who is able to confront a problem and come up with solutions. To say that this is a problem, that you have people who can dress up and demean another culture. If it was 2,000 people in that school that looked like us, I best believe they wouldn't have had no Gangsta Night.
Mm-hmm.
So then you question, what was they doing? Was it right? Was it wrong? The fact that you even have to question it lets you know that there's some type of moral imbalance to it.
Right.
Exactly.
And that's why it's important that we go out here and every chance we get, speaking to our children, speaking to our brothers and our sisters about who we are. If we can get that much to them, then maybe something might click in their mind. So when we start seeing this, notice it's very noticeable that how these people feel about us. But once we know who we are, then we understand the fight that we have along with that.
Mm-hmm. Yo, can you bring up that script real quick for me?
Yeah.
I got it in a little joint. All right. 1 Kings 9:6-7. It says this: But if you shall at all turn from following me, talking about the Most High, you or your children, and will not keep my commandments and my statutes which I have set before you, but go and serve other gods and worship them, then will I cut off Israel out of the land which I have given them, and this house which I have hallowed for my name, and I will cast out of my sight, and Israel shall be a byword, and let me scroll down a little something, and a byword among all that people, a proverb and a byword among all that people. And to say that, I did a video a few days ago talking about the N-word, right? And actually the actual history behind it. That's a true byword, a word that has two different connotations and has a derogatory connotation placed on it.
Yep.
Like in the Proverbs, look at it. Don't be like them N-words.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, Proverbs be straightforward, hidden. You know, so it's like,
Straight up.
And it's just among all the people, man. Some people only know us by stereotypes. Let that sit, man. They were taught and raised to approach us by the stereotypes. They don't know any better. Some of them don't know any better. Some of them don't even know that this is racist. And then the mass majority do, and they perpetuate it. Just like I mean, I came to the same conclusion myself before I even saw this video, but apparently Malcolm X said it too, and he was saying, you know what? There are some white people, I think even Dr. Martin Luther King said this, which is crazy. There are some white people who do support us and do love us and don't want to have any ill intent, but that number is a very small minority. It's a small iota. They only do it when it's actually in their benefit. Right.
But then let me build with you on that, because I don't want to just be on this channel and say that it's other races as well, kind of demoralizing us. It be our own people. It be our own people wanting to come up to us. What up, gang? What up, nigga? What up?
Yeah.
What up, D? And it's like, hold on. What's good, kings? What's good, queens? What up? And when we start to really gain back our communication with one another and putting us on a higher level of respect, how you gonna expect somebody else to respect us when we can't even do it as a people?
Exactly.
So it's like, man, even operating, even trying to spread the word, you get certain individuals of our diaspora that look at us and be like, "Oh, you a uppity nigga. Oh, you just you could be better than us. You want to talk
those Hebrew Israelites.
Yeah, you want to talk like you got some sense." And I'll be like, "Dang, I would expect that this would be coming from another race and not from my own people." So it's like it's truly a spirit where we just gotta come together as a group, as a nation, as a people, and start to show people, hey, this ain't something that you could dress up. This is us. This ain't no facade. What is the facade is us acting as niggas. That's the dress up. That's the acting. That's the role. But to say we following in our purpose and really being great out here is something that we need to reestablish in this earth, because as y'all can, I know y'all feel it, man. We on a ride. We starting to all tap back in. You feel me? And we starting to walk that way, talk that way. And now it's like the people who didn't want to see us like that, which can be our own color, is looking at us and trying to pull us back down. But this is when, you really see what's inside us. So talks like this is paramount.
I kind of want to build off what you said too. That's part of the mystery of iniquity that I've been talking about. Our people don't know who we are. There's not too many people that's gonna, hop in this truth and then still look at their brothers like that. Now some may have a Pharisees mentality, so they kind of feel like they need to shoot down everybody that's not doing it how they are subscribing to do it. But a lot of our people just don't know. So like Willie Lynch, you know what I'm saying? They've already programmed years and years before they knew we was gonna wake up. So they already programmed it to make it so hard for a lot of our people. I'm not the only person that get pissed off at our people when we try to bring out the truth at them. I be pissed off like, nigga, are you listening to what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But that's part of it. A lot of our people don't know that, I'm not supposed to be bringing my brother down. I'm supposed to be supporting my brother. If my brother do something wrong, I need to go to him in secret and try to ask and try to get him to, fix what he got going on. You my brother. I don't want to see you going on like that. But a lot of us, even in the truth, when we come to a realization of certain things and people come to us to try to correct us, he hating on me. He don't want to see me win. That's the spirit of offense. You ready for that scripture, bro?
Hold up. Actually, because you brought that up, I want to speak. I want to share a different one. All right. Yeah, no, I'm ready. I'm ready with that one now.
All right. Yeah,
So
that's
this
a spirit. It's a spirit of offense that goes on in our community, and we got to understand that that's been systematically, suppressed through the other nations. We understand that. We understand it, but our people, a lot of the 2/3, they don't understand it.
there's two very powerful topics that we're hitting on right now. We're hitting on the self-hate, and we're hitting on not knowing who we are, and we're not considering who we are. So I want to speak about us not following these law, statutes, commandments, us not heeding to it. This is what got us in this position, right? Because a lot of people they start with us being on the slave ships and just say, okay, now we need to do better. We got to go better. No, 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 no. This is not how we start. We started out being called out of Egypt by the Most High, which was made from our fathers way before then. Getting called out of Egypt, making a covenant, and we broke this covenant, right? So this is some of the curses. Like people be hearing these curses and things of that sort. Curses is not just, oh, I'm going to smite you with a plague. Sometimes it's a plague of the mind.
Uh,
Sometimes it's a living condition. Sometimes it's a mentality. Sometimes it's an action that you're going to be seeing done. So I want to bring out this real quick, Deuteronomy 28. And this is why anyone who really comes into the faith, this is why Deuteronomy 28 is a staple, because it really explains and elaborates on the plight of us as a people. And this is why this is one of the things that shows us this is us. All right. Without further ado, Deuteronomy 28, verses 54 through 56. So it reads, so that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, that man's be like, what's up, king? Love, king. I love you, right? That same guy, his eye shall be evil towards his brother and toward the wife of his bosom and toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave. I don't know what other single verse in the Bible wraps us up in a statement so well on what the common distress that we see. We see hate amongst one another. We see that these families are fatherless, right? It says that he shall relieve the remnant of his child. We see that, oh, that's my baby mama. That's some baby mama drama. I don't love her like that. She want my side pieces, but I got 5 kids with her, right? Right? This is one of the plagues, and the Most High said this is going to happen because you ain't going to listen to my law. Let's read on. And it says, so that he will not give to any of them of the flesh of his children whom he shall eat. Let me move forward. Let me go down to verse 56 real quick, because 55 is hitting on something a little different. All right, 56 reads this. The tender and delicate woman among you, which would not adventure to set the sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness. I mean, she wouldn't even dare go against what you're saying. She was like, you know what? This is what you're saying. This is how we're walking. All right, let's work with this. That same woman, she's like, you know what? I'm going to be humble and submissive, right? And this is really, so it shows you this is how our women were. They said that they had to set up all these things to make them the way that they are, to instruct them, to indoctrinate them, to train them up to be an enemy. Right, and I'm not going to do this whole preaching lesson because I could get into it, but let's read it real quick. And tenderness, her eye shall be evil toward the husband of her bosom, and toward her son, and toward her daughter. That she's going to teach them that they need to be Miss Independence. She's going to teach her son that he needs to be effeminate, that he can't show any masculinity. To our husband, that's no good nigga. He don't do nothing for me, even though he keeps the lights on. He makes sure food's on the table. He makes sure that they dress well. They in a decent neighborhood. They got a family car that works and runs. Anything in the problem in the house, it gets fixed. Oh, but I could do better. I don't know why I settled down with that nigga. They go gossip to their friends. But this is our issues. And the Bible literally mapped this out 2,000 years plus, right? But Israel did not consider what has put them here. And that's what goes into the next, because we're bringing out these Bible topics, but we're going to show you that this is not just four black angry men talking about our issues. No, these are four passionate, understanding Hebrew men who says, "Oh, look at the scriptures. This is what the scriptures said. How about we turn back to the Most High?
Yeah.
Because that's the answer at the end of the day. To turn back to His wisdom, to turn back to His love, to turn back to our prestige, to turn back to our roles." And this is what it says about Israel. Real quick, let me get this out real quick, and y'all can build on everything that's being said. Isaiah 1, verses 2 through 4. Hear, O heavens, and give ear, O earth, for the Lord hath spoken. I have nourished and brought up children, and they have rebelled against me. The ox knoweth his owner, the ass his master's crib, saying animals even know who owns them. But Israel
did not consider.
Do not no, my people do not consider. They don't ever wonder, like, well, if we believe in God, why did God let these things happen? Why did God put us in such a bottom position? I mean, there's far worse things that has been done in the scriptures. Why are we being treated like this? And it reads on. It says this: sinful nation, a people laden with iniquity, a seed of evildoers, children that are corrupters. They have forsaken the Lord. They have provoked the Holy One of Israel unto anger. They are gone away backward.
See? That, I don't know about nobody else, but that should like kind of give you some type of insight and almost give you chills about our people. It said, what it say, verse 4 at the end says, they are gone away backward, not forward, backwards. Which means it seems as if every day that Israel is rising, guess what? There's a lot of Israel that don't even know they Israel. They going deeper and deeper into sin.
Wasn't it Israel who said, "Oh, well, did you bring us out here to die? We was better off in captivity."
Yep.
These are the same people. Like, brothers want to know what's the issue with us trying to struggle for success than endure oppression. They're like, well, you're struggling both ways. No, there's a difference. Struggling to success, it means there's a better day in the future. Enduring oppression means there's no way out. They said, I would much rather go back to there's no way out, because guess what? I get comfortable. They give me some nice things. If I please master real well, he gonna give me a nice car.
Yeah.
He gonna give me a nice house. And they think, that's sufficient enough to bringing us out of these problems and qualms. The only reason why these white students were even dare to impose these acts in this school was because that they think that they can portray them. They think that they can really walk in our shoes. They look at us and they be like, yeah, I'm one of them. I'm hard. They think that it's glorious being in trials and tribulations and curses. I tell you, I don't know a single nigga in the ghetto who wants to stay there.
Nope.
I don't know no one who comes from a hood ever, no matter how soft that hood is or how violent it is, ever say, I want to go back. Ever say, you know what, I enjoyed living there. I enjoyed having to look at my brother and say, you know what, he might kill me today if I step on his J's.
And that all of these things that we're going through, it really go back to when the Most High told them you shouldn't have any man over you, but they wanted a king. So guess what? Now that we wanted a king, now we got presidents and everybody else that's gonna tell us what to do. You know what I'm saying? We even though the Most High told us don't envy the oppressor, we still envy them. We see that the oppressor is making it just fine by keeping us down. So subliminally and subconsciously, us as a nation, we do the same thing. And just like Massa, when we don't do things according to how they wanted to do it, then we're wrong. It's the same thing with our people. We try to bring them, and we try to bring them in the truth, or you try to help a brother. It's a reason why you trying to help them, or you think you better because you trying to tell them how to do things. You know,
So
brother.
check
What?
this out.
Yeah, yeah.
Let,
Sorry,
let me
brother.
share this. Let me share this impelling idea with y'all, cause my thing is I don't want to give them too much credit, man. I don't want to give the people
It's
who oppress us
self-imposed.
too much credit as far as them having this advantage over us, because at the end of the day, it was only us. And so now you see these programs literally being brought to life as they were just scripts. They were written down on a piece of paper and now they're being fully activated. Where if we as a people never even portrayed any type of, what can I say, hate for one another, then we wouldn't even be receiving that from any other individuals, because they learning from us.
They couldn't. Yeah, yeah. They
They
wouldn't
learning
even be
from
able
us.
to stand.
So it's like I hold my people at a higher responsibility. When I see white people or any other race doing something foolish, I'm like, oh yeah, they they learn from us. If we didn't teach them that, you feel
Right,
me? Let's start holding ourselves accountable, brothers. If
right.
we
Most
didn't teach
definitely.
them that, if they didn't see us acting like that, 100.
Con. You know,
So all praises be to the Most High, man.
I
That
do
that
want to
we
say
able to sit down and actually gain these new connections of how to operate with each other and have other people respect the way that we move in this world, because they're gonna learn from us.
Mm.
con. I do want
No,
to say
yeah.
something before Nelly get on. I do want to say that I kind of think there's a split. It's always a split when it comes to us. Period. But there's some of us that believe that it's one side fault, and other side say, well, it's this side fault. It's all of it's everyone's fault. The reason why is because none of us want to wake up to the 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 solution, and the solution is following the commandments of the Most High. Now, I'm very biased when it comes to this topic, but I would honestly say, until you know who you are, then it's almost just like the scripture where the Most High said, "I winked at your ignorance." We gotta wink. We have to wink at a lot of our people things, because we were the same ones. I'm not the only person that few years ago was one of the 2/3 that was out here only for self. So we got to understand that when we're looking at our people and we see what's going on, if we're not going to them, not on YouTube, if we're not going to the masses, then they blood can be on our hands. Now, when you bring into the truth, when you bring people into the truth, and they have a chance to know, they don't do it. Now you're the blame. You're the reason why the enemies all throughout the centuries and the thousands of years, why they succeeded, because of the people of your type. You know that we got to follow commandments. You know we have a covenant that's special to us as a nation. And now you're one of the reason why our people are failing. But this is the reason why we see it, and it hurts our heart more, whether we on one side or the other, because now that we awaken, that doesn't put us now that's almost part of the curses as well. It's a blessing, but it's part of the curses as well, because now you have to see what our ancestors, what Jeremiah, what Isaiah, what all the prophets had seen. Like, how in the world, why am I born to see my people perish like this?
Too much knowledge, too much sorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's written, bro. And
Hold
just
up. Nelly, what you wanted to say? I just want to give Nelly the chance here. He's the youngest dog in here. You know what I mean?
man. Hey, the spirit moving, man.
Talk.
Just to go back to what the brother was building on, I was just thinking about a scripture too. If you can pull it up, please.
Mm-hmm.
Exodus chapter 1, verse 9. You just can bring it up.
All right, I got you. All right, Israel, if you want to bring it up, whenever you're ready, we good.
Yeah, it's up there.
Man, you swift with it.
I gotta be up to part with you.
And let me zoom in real quick, and let me go down. It says, and he said unto his people, behold, the people of the children of Israel are more and mightier than we. What you wanted to bring on that? What you want to bring out on that?
Because you know the brother was talking about we didn't even know our identity, and then the scripture was come to mind, and I was just wanting to bring it out.
All right, cool.
All right.
I respect it.
But that's, before you say anything, I feel Moses 100% on that. When you get to know yourself and you get a certain urge to do the Most High's work, I feel him on that because he's sitting there like, man, look, Father, it's a bunch of these Negroes, and and they be tripping. Soon as I bring up these things they were supposed to do, that's that's that they gonna ponder with paranoia. Oh no, we not doing that. He's tripping. Going on.
I think this one's talking about when Joseph died, right? And they're talking to the Pharaoh, right? And they're saying that we keep multiplying. Even in captivity, we keep multiplying. So it says because it says now verse 8 says, now there arose up a new king over Egypt, which knew not Joseph. And he said unto his people, behold, the people of children of Israel are more and mightier than we. Come on, let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply, and it come to pass that when they falleth out any war, they join unto our enemies and fight against us, and so get them up out of the land. This is talking about that they realize that we with it. This is talking about they realize we with it, and that they must deal very wisely and make us fall into our own snares, our own traps. Because you guess what? The Bible says in Proverbs and Psalms a whole bunch that the wicked set up traps and they shall fall themselves in. So we setting up our own traps. We setting up our own demise. And it kind of goes all back to Deuteronomy 30:19 through 20, which wraps up what Divine Lee was saying. It wraps up what Will is saying. And I think it even builds onto what Nelly was saying. But it reads this: I call heaven and earth to record this day against you. This is the Most High saying this. That I've set before you life and death, blessing and cursing. Therefore choose. Wait, hold up. Let's stop at choose before he even says what he choose. Therefore choose. You have the choice. It's in you. You can choose whether or not you're going to live today or you're going to die today. Just like how Adam and Eve, they chose to die that day. When they chose that apple, or they chose that fruit, mind you. And to the Most High, 1,000 days is one day, and one day 1,000 days. They died in a day. They died the same day they ate it. So now let's build back onto what it says. It says, I call heaven and earth. He said, I'm calling my two creations that are going to judge you or bless you. Have you not realized that? When it goes to Deuteronomy 28, and everything that's cursing us is the fruits of the earth, is heaven. It says that we should look up to the heavens with falling eyes and all these other things. Have you know that the different stars and things and constellations that take place, right? That are prophesied to take place. They happen in the stars first, and then they happen in the and then they happen on earth. So let's build on this with this understanding. I call heaven and earth to record this day against you. that I have set before you life and death, blessing and cursing. Therefore choose life, that both you and your seed may live, that thou mayest love the Lord your God, that thou mayest obey his voice, that thou mayest cleave unto him. For he, the Most High, he's saying this. He said, I am your life. I am the length of your days. I do that. There is no one else who could do that for you. I'm the one who gives you the wisdom to understanding. I am the one who had Israel trot around Jericho and had made their walls fall. I am the one who put the fear in your enemy's eyes. It's like when you see the little kid and he's like, yeah, you ain't gonna mess with me, and you see the big dad behind him like, I dare you to do something to my son. You get me? So absolutely, you're right, Lee. It's not really up to them on whether or not what they did. They hold no power. They hold no power because guess what? Our ancestors chose death, and now we choosing life. They can't stop us. And I mean, we're not as righteous as Christ, but they try to do us like how they did Christ, and we walk on with the Most High. And just like how there was things that follow after that, there's going to be things that follow after the saints. You ain't just going to touch the anointed of the Most High and get away with it.
Right.
You ain't going to get away with it. The one
see, look. No, seriously though. See, we spent so much time, depicting who and what. Well, these nations did this, or it's our people fault. But just like Brother Leon said, that was our ancestors. They chose death. We choosing life. It's right there. It's written. But it also said what we was gonna do. He said we was gonna be stiff necked. It said all of these certain things. So
guess what?
It's
still
part of the curse.
But we stiff neck in the Most High's direction now.
Yeah, because I ain't going.
We're using that in the appropriate direction now.
Con. Hey, bro, bring out Deuteronomy 6 for me.
Deuteronomy 6, what verse, or just the whole thing?
Probably 1 through 4. I really just like verse 4, but
I got you up. 1 second. All right, I got you up. When you are.
All right.
And it reads, verse 1, Deuteronomy 6. Now, these are the commandments, the statutes, and the judgments which the Lord your God commanded to teach you, that you might do them in the land whither you go to possess it, that thou mightest fear the Lord thy God, to keep all his statutes and his commandments, which I command thee, thou and thy son, and thy son's son, all the days of thy life, and that thy days may be prolonged. Hear, therefore, O Israel, and observe to do it, that it may be well with thee, and that you may increase mightily, as the Lord God of thy fathers has promised thee, in the land that floweth with milk and honey. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one.
Keep going.
Oh, you want me to keep reading on? Hold up.
Yeah.
I got a full chapter that John. I got you. All right, let me zoom back in. All right, verse 5. And thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, with all thy soul, and with all thy might.
Boom.
With all thy heart,
With
with
what?
all thy soul
Uh-huh.
and with
All
all
by
thy might.
might. So we already know. How do you love the Most High with all your mind, heart, mind, soul? Keeping His commandments, right? That's our downfall.
My bad, fam.
That's our downfall. You know, I understand that we've been brainwashed in many ways. I understand that, but that was because we lack the knowledge of who we are. But if we learn the Most High first, you gotta, man, really think about it. What mind frame was a lot of us in before we came into the truth? Some of us was probably, I don't know about God because why would He do this to why would He do this to people? We were all over the place. We didn't know that we were supposed to keep these commandments. We was taught accept the Lord Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, and you good to go.
Yeah.
And
Love your enemy, don't hate nobody, and just keep on jucking and jiving. Smile. Smile.
yeah.
Divinely, give them that smile, Ak. Give them that smile, Ak. And not the smile of perseverance and being joy. No, give them the smile of I will play the fool and be happy and merry. Because that's what they taught us. They
Yeah.
told us to not harbor any type of emotion, all that anger, all that strife, the anger that we felt towards ourselves because we felt like ourselves were in the pit. We felt our family was in the pit. We see dysfunction left and right, but we see these people in these choirs tithing, right? We see them praising the Lord, catching the Holy Ghost, and speaking in tongues, but we still on every block, bro, you see a church, and we still in shackles and chains.
Yep. Yep. But once
But
we get out
that's
of
what we
that,
was told. That was
yeah,
loving the God with all our heart, with all our soul, and that was all our might. That's what we was taught. But
yeah.
go on.
No, you said it. You said it right. But once we get out of that mind, once we're snatched up out of that mind frame, it's us. It's up to us to I I know our people. The biggest our biggest failure is um competition actually, and I'll break that down. The next session I'll break that down. But we've gotten this mind frame just like the nations, just like the other nations, and I'm talking about inside of Israel. We get this mind frame where it's like F the 2/3. We forgot that some of those 2/3 they gotta hear this for the word to for the prophecies to be manifested. You know what I'm saying?
Yo,
There are certain people that's gonna have to hear it, and then that there's certain things
that's
that
what
gotta come to little for fruitions, whatever.
fruition. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
Yo, check this out. I love the 2/3, even if they don't never turn to the Most High. Guess why? They my people. When David was hunted down by Saul, did he say, guess what? When the Most High handed him over into the cave, yo, people who don't know the David and Saul story, y'all go read up. That's what you guys should read tomorrow or for the rest of the week. Get through that story. Saul threw javelins at David.
Yeah.
Saul had this man play the harp for him and then curse him out practically. Like Saul gave him a daughter, right? And gave him he said, you know what? If you go slay this many people, I got you. You can have one of my daughters. And David's like, I'm not worthy of that. And he said, nah, it's cool. Then David went above and beyond to please his king. And he's like, look at him. He think he got to do all this. Like, word is born, right? And then the Most High said, you know what? I'm going to hand Saul over to you. And whatever you feel is right, that's what you do. This is the same man who is recorded to have his heart turned to the Most High. Took Saul. Saul was in there. He took a piece of his garment, cut a piece of his garment. And Saul went out. And he said, look, Saul, I could have killed you. But because you're my king, because you was anointed at one point in time, I showed mercy and love to you. And Saul broke down and started crying. After that, it was more or less things was ended. If that ain't brotherly love, I don't know what is.
See, yeah, David understood. He understood the Israelite mind. He understood, some of Israel just get to acting crazy for no reason. But we also know that it's a spiritual thing, man. It's a
Mm-hmm.
spiritual thing. We
You know
really
the
gotta.
reason, man. You know the reason.
Yep.
Hey, we gonna make sure that we bring out the truth and to know honestly. I'm looking at the title right now,
Oh,
bro, and saying that what what backlash is appropriate and is even showing them attention even appropriate. Where you look at people doing that and dressing up in blackface, and it's like they want you to get mad, but you know what would be worse than slapping them in the face? Walking right by their ass, not even showing them no attention, just letting them soak in the fact that they can't even get us to even interact with them. You know when the Most High start loving you, when He don't even try to chastise you no more.
Yep.
When he don't even try to correct you no more. And it's like for us to be in a position, we on the top of the hill. We looking down, we shining the light. But now we're at a place where is it really valuable to shine our light on people who are bent just to be firewood?
Uh,
hey, we were told not to cast our pearls among swine.
You feel
But
me?
also, I wanted to build back on what Ak was saying real quick because there was another thing I wanted to bring up. And can you bring up that scripture as well?
yeah.
Why are we getting offended? Because what's going on with my joint?
Yeah,
Hold up, give me a
I
second.
seen
I
that.
see
Sleepy
that.
over there, bro.
Give me 1 second, fam. Give me 1 second. Let me
You
let
over
me
there,
just refresh this
you over
joint.
there lip seeking.
Yeah, y'all too much, man. Y'all too much, man. I come up in here and I get chastised and everything. All right, now everything's working.
There
It's
you go.
working.
There you go. You didn't know what
All
was
right.
going on.
So my phone just went to sleep and then it froze up my camera. That's what happened. But all right, so I don't even know why we getting mad, and this is why. Like this is Samuel, and he telling the people, yo, y'all don't want a king. Y'all don't want to be like the heathens. And this is what the Most High said to Samuel. And I say this to all the prophets. I say this to anyone who proclaims themselves to be a prophet of God. I mean, that's up to you and your prerogative in the Most High. Anyone who proclaims themselves to be an elder or a teacher of the scripts, right? Or a follower of the Most High, in Christ, right? And all these things. This is what said to Samuel. I say this to everyone else who sees what's going on. Honestly, it says this, verse 7, chapter 8, 1 Samuel. And the Lord said unto Samuel, hearken unto the voice of the people, and all that they say unto thee. For they have not rejected thee, but they have rejected me, that I should not reign over them.
Yep.
Like, we be taking it so personal, bro. We be taking it like they just won't listen to me, and I'm telling them the right thing. Bro, it's not even about you, man. Don't you know that you serve a master? Don't you know that you serve a Lord? And it's about your master. It's about your Lord. It's about your Adonai. It's about your Elohim. You get what I'm saying? Like they ain't against what you saying. They against what your Elohim is saying, what your God is saying.
I brought this out yesterday, but can you pull up Hosea?
Yeah.
Hosea 8 and 12.
8 and 12. I spelled that wrong. I feel like I did. 8 and 12. I feel like I spelled that backwards.
Yeah,
I
you did.
Bro, I felt it. I have a 1 there too. Give me 1 second. Yeah, let me pull this up real quick. Let me pull this up real quick. I had a 1 in there and everything, man. I don't even know where that came from. Oh, that was from First Samuel. I didn't delete it. All right, there you go. Nah. All right,
First
cool.
Hosea. Shoot, they done messed so much with the scriptures. I wouldn't be surprised if it had something like that.
All right, I got it. So you ready whenever you are, bro?
Yeah. All right.
And Ephraim said, "Yet I am
That's
rich,
12 and
become
8, bro.
rich."
That's
You
still
what
12.
8
8
and
and
12.
12.
Oh, you said the other way around. I could have
Yeah.
sworn he said 12 and 8, bro. I could have sworn on my life. All right, I got you. All right, Hosea 8 and 12. I have written to him the great things of my law, but they were counted as a strange thing.
Mm.
A strange thing.
Strange thing. You see that? That's what we got to go
For
through with majority of the world. Period. Whether it's the 2/3 or the other nations, when they see us walking upright, they count it as a strange thing. But the Most High said it right here. I've written it to you. I've written it to you. The great things in the law, and that's inside of us. It's already inside of us.
absolutely. I mean, it goes back to even the point where the Most High gives us all these laws, statutes, and He says this is our wisdom and understanding. And I mean, that's a all praise to the Most High. He made a covenant and He spoke to us. But what in this law don't make common sense? Like, where in here you be like, I don't know, man. This is like some real out there type stuff.
That's only with the laws that come from this Constitution and these presidents that those strange to me, bro.
Yeah, you're right. But no, really focus on what I'm saying real quick. When the Most High gave us these laws, statutes, and commandments, when you think about them, which ones are really out there and like they're strange, they're odd, they're peculiar. A lot of them make a lot of sense. A lot of them make common sense when you really exercise some thought to it. But they're strange to us because we were that perverted, we was that off, that He had to bring common sense that, you know what, you're supposed to love yourself and then love the person next to you. You get me? He said,
Yeah.
I am obviously the Most High, and you can't make anything that looks like me. You can't do it. I'm a God. Like, understand that. That common sense. You might, you know what? I can't make this jar. Man, my bro, that jar keeps freezing on me, man. I feel like they playing with me now. I feel like they playing with me now. That's crazy because my phone thing is on and everything. There you go.
I'm not on this channel. I ain't making no threat yet. If we was on y'all channel, that'd be a different story.
You speaking about the truth, bro. You see what you're doing in the airwaves. They on that.
Nah, it's cool. It's cool.
In the background. Oh my God, they said the Most High so many times. Let's
Nah, we got something for that, man. I want to put it right there. So as soon as it goes down, I'm ready for it. So I mean, but what do you think about that though? His law really makes a lot of sense. It's a lot of common sense. He had to give us common sense, bro. And now we tell them like okay, when we get real spiritual, when we get real deep on it, then they be like, yo, they off. They count that as strange. But we feeding, like I had this conversation with my mom and a few others. And I was like, on my channel, there's not only going to be milk on my channel. That's just not right. Because eventually there's going to be people who want to have applesauce, people who want to have an appetizer, people who's going to want to have a main course. And I want to feed them that. You know what I mean? You're not just supposed to always feed the weakest sheep every single day. You got to feed all of them. Right? And they take that and they really look at it and they say, this is strange. This is peculiar. Not wanting to eat an animal that literally eats dead carcasses and all these other things, that's weird.
And then you know what comes up out of that? And is mentioned many times, as you would have people who will mock you. And hey, Brother Nelly, I seen your video, and to know that you're going through the stages where people are starting to look at you strange. But this time was prophesied where, hey, they're gonna mock you. It's written. You're supposed to do great things to be mocked so that this prophecy can come true. And when we really start to look at individuals like, you playing your role. You just doing what's in the book. Matter of fact, that makes us get on our purpose even more. That makes us get aligned with the word even more, knowing that, okay, we see these white students dressing up, trying to mock our people. That in these times, in these days, that there shall be mockers. So it's like, how do we appropriate our actions moving forward? How do we deal with these things moving forward? Do we backlash? How do we have the integrity to deal with these situations righteously? And hey, brother, his will is real. This is one of them.
Yes, sir.
Where we can get together on panels like this and converse about them with intelligence and have some type of meeting of the minds where we can fully bring this to fruition and not seem as though we don't need to go out marching with stakes and flames, but we can, we could put a flame on their ass with the words that we speak.
God, God.
Put them in their order. So it's like, man, it really gets to the point where we got to acknowledge truthfully what's taking place, what's inside of us, how we respond, and when we come together as a community, is it positive? Which it should be for us to move forward, especially if we're choosing life, then we have to choose the right actions that cultivate life.
Absolutely. Nelly, what you wanted to say?
Brother, because I was speaking to my mom too, because we was reading the history of, how Christ was coming to this world, and my mom was keep telling my little brothers that Mary was, young fruit. I don't know how to
a young maiden, like youth, like a young woman, right?
Yeah. She was, having Christ without, Joseph.
Oh, so she was a virgin. She was talking about the
virgin.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I was, trying to explain that, him and Mary was,
it was natural, bro.
Yeah.
It was a natural. Yeah, I got you.
And my mom was, trying to, say that you tell them the fake story, and she was keep getting at me, and at the end I was just, just stop saying something, because the more I was speaking about it, the more my mom was getting, offended.
And I want to say it like this: that was wise in that case, but don't let it discourage you. And what I mean by that is that there is a time and a place for everything. And right now, at this time, in this place, I'm going to be honest. For anyone who's with their parents and their parents ain't with this truth, your job is to make sure that you can still have a home tomorrow, to not cause destruction and a whole bunch of chaos. Unless you feel that that's God telling you that you have to be that one, which is very few and far between. You're not supposed to be this rebellious child. Don't do that. Because guess what? The Most High gave that person over you for a certain reason, for a certain purpose. All right? So respect your parents. Give honor unto your parents. This is what we're commanded to do. Right? So on that aspect, don't be feeling like you guys got to raise hell because you guys know what's going on. Hey, you could definitely confront them and ask them, pose these questions. But they trying over here and say, nah, you off, you wrong, this and this. It is what it is. Let it be. Let it rock. But know in your heart, you did what you had to do. The blood's off your hands because you brought it up. They said, I don't want to hear it. They didn't even try to ask, like, what do you mean? Because obviously they know that, Nelly, you've been looking into the Bible a little bit more. They know that you've heard the story of her being a virgin. What's making you say not, that she's not a virgin? Or that it didn't happen from the immaculate conception of the Holy Spirit? You get me? They don't ask these questions. They get mad. And I wanted to say this as well, on building on the topic before. There is only one thing that everyone can control, and it's their reaction. You can't control nothing else. You only can influence it. And your influence is dictated by the Most High. All right? So all you can control is what you do, what you believe, how you think. And until you get that in order, well, you can't influence anything appropriately. But this is why the Edomites and when I say Edomite, I don't just mean white people. Like I don't know who thinks that Edom is only white. But I'm telling you right now, that's not how I see it.
No.
So when I say it like that, I mean simply anyone who stands against the Most High, anyone who has a heathenistic mindset. That's what I mean. Just to clear that up. So when they have these heathenistic thoughts and ideas, and they say you can't control nothing, control is an illusion. Well, that's because they're trying to control the whole damn world instead of their damn self.
Yep.
What we hear on this channel today is saying, well, with us not controlling ourselves, with us not having any accountability, with us not looking and seeking the Most High, this is why we're being portrayed this way. This is why we're being made as a byword. This is why we need to reclaim accountability. And this is why we preach about accountability so damn hard, because that's all you got.
Yep.
All you can do is be accountable for your actions and move forward, or be made fun of, be a byword. And then when you go get angry and you go lash out like a nigga and you go to jail,
right?
That's your just due. Because guess what? The Most High said that I will punish you 7 times for your iniquities and for your sins. Guess why? Because you're the people I chose. I know you. I talk to you. I'm holding you accountable. This is why obedience is better than sacrifice. This is why I'm telling you to get right. This is why I'm telling you to stop hating your brother.
Right.
Because it's time for you to reclaim yourself. This is why those quote unquote spiritualist people, they say you gotta know yourself. You gotta follow. You gotta know your inner God. All right, let's remove all that pagan talk and I'm gonna tell you real. You gotta know that the Most High made you His vessel. You're His image, and every time that you are tainting and muddying the waters, He ain't happy about that. That's 1. 2, you're supposed to walk, talk, and act like the Most High. And if you don't know how to, you're supposed to learn how to. You're supposed to improve and get better every single day.
There's no reason for us to be around, screaming, quit the racism or Black Lives Matter. I can't breathe. There's no reason why we should be putting those incantations out there in the world if we're doing exactly what the Most High has told us to do. Once you understand the curses, you know how to get out of the curses.
Because the blessings are equally as true.
Exactly.
If the curses exist, if Satan exists, if Luciferians and elitists exist, guess what? That means the opposite is just as true. It means blessings exist. It means saints exist. It means the Most High exists.
Yep.
And He's rooting for you.
Yep.
Exist in us.
Exactly.
You feel me?
This is the reason why this is the biggest reason why it's important that our people know who they are. These type of talks, they may be encouraging to some people, but this is for people that already stepped in the water of knowing who they are. You know what I mean? And it's important that we know these type of things. When things start to go overboard or off track in our life, we can sit back and understand, okay, Most High, what have I done? Mm-hmm. Did I do anything that may have, put this on me for today?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. A lot of our start operating like Leviticus 5, first 6 verses. And it practically said, if you sin and you didn't know it was sin, it was hidden from you, right? Until you're made known of these things, you're not guilty. But when you are made known, you are guilty and you hold those sins, so repent. And it gives, we don't do animal sacrifices, so we repent, right? And we move forward. But guess what? Let's talk about sacrifices real quick. There's sin sacrifices, and then there's peace offerings, or there's sin offerings and peace offerings. Guess what? Repenting is a sin offering. You got to make now the peace offering and move forward in obedience. You got to move forward with your actions.
Big con.
Hey, cool. Powerful ideas right there, 88 Soul. Powerful ideas right there.
He said, got y'all playing in the background while I'm drawing these ideas. All praise to the Most High. All praise. Divine Lee.
Yes, sir.
Give me your input on on this on a little paragraph. I want to. I mean, just a little insert. Okay.
All right.
All right. All right. So it says one current black student who asked not to be identified recalled that a white male classmate sitting next to her called her a racial slur. The teacher
Sheesh.
told him to move desks, but also told her to get a tougher skin.
Sheesh.
Now, before you give your insight, this is the reason why we need to be on the people that don't understand the truth. Because this hurt her. I'm pretty sure it did. But to a person of our caliber, we can kind of mentally and spiritually laugh at them and be like, but I know why you're doing this. It doesn't
Bro.
bother me as much as it does the people that aren't awake. Go ahead, bro.
Hey, like you said, we laughing at it. And honestly, when we are speaking this truth, we got to tell our brothers and sisters, our sisters even more importantly, because they are the weaker vessel, and we have to make sure that they're strong. And when they do come about these attacks spiritually, they able to laugh it off too. Guess what? If we had our sisters on one accord preaching the word and laughing at these people trying to call them y'all already know, man. The dot, you feel me? The B words, man. All just all that derogatory stuff where our sisters are literally laughing at that and just moving around. Like we don't have our sisters paying attention to that, investing their energy and motion to that, where they instantly, as soon as they start hitting the trial or tribulation, they praising Yah. You know, they sending forth their praise to the Most High, and then a miracle comes and breaks through. And bro, I just don't respect the classroom at all. Just coming from the space of being a graduate in college and knowing that there is certain stipulations on people who look like me versus other individuals. To say one day I was in a classroom, and this was, I remember it vividly because I was taking notes as Donald Trump was giving his kind of his speech. This is when he first got elected.
His inauguration?
Yeah. I was taking notes, and like the teacher was playing, you know, his inauguration speech in the classroom. And I'm just over here taking notes and praying and like, oh my God, he's literally saying this is coming true. Like, you know, it was something where I was already involved spiritually trying to search for the Most High. And I'm like in prayer as the video's going on, right? A student in front of me was a woman that, of course, was of the other diasporas. She looked back at me and was like, would you shut up and stop? Like,
Jeez.
attacking me for me whispering. Bro, when I tell you I got on the ground and just prayed, like I didn't even respond to her or anything, bro. I got on the ground and prayed. The next day, I was in the president's of the school office. They was about to kick me up out of school for praying.
Wow.
But you know what? And I got two things I want to jump off of this. First, if it was Islam and they do this, like these fake religions, they'd be like, oh, that's a part of his religion. It's okay, da-da-da-da. But when it's about us seeking the Most High, oh, no, we can't have that.
Yep.
Because definitely, bro, they'd be like, oh, this is something I got to do. When I'm afflicted, I'm supposed to pray right here and get on my knees and face to the east, right?
Bro.
When it's actually, in the scriptures, it wasn't just facing to the east, it was facing to where the temple was. And this is why it was also considered vain later in the scriptures as well, because they was just facing the east, even though the temple was right in front of them. But and also the Most High said something else. That's why the whole if you seek me, the whole if my people will humble themselves and seek me, that's what the Most High said. He didn't even agree to what Solomon was saying. But let me bring this back because I got on a little tangent. That's wild. That is wild. Now, even to bring back to what you said about this girl, right? And like literally it hurt my heart a little bit. I ain't even gonna hold you because I know they're the weaker vessel, man. I know this. And I'm over here like, yo, they probably called her this, and that, and she doesn't even act like that because she's going to this all white school. Because guess what? She act like that. She wasn't even going to be allowed to come in there. To be honest. Right? She probably had straight A's and like to the top of the top. You get what I mean? She wasn't no buster, right? And this is why I made that video about the N-word, so that we could really start taking back the power on. They're like, yo, you don't even know you're calling me a king, right? You know that, right? You don't even know that you're telling me that I'm original Hebrew by saying that word, right? Giving you that perspective of, okay, they're using it derogatory, but they don't even understand that that word actually isn't derogatory at all. There's no way to say it derogatory. That's like saying, oh, you New Jerseyan, or oh, you New Yorker, or like they're telling us this is where you're from. That's a place, right? And this is why that's why I made that video, honestly, so people can look at this and be like, you know what? All right, I don't like that word, but now it's like a mind game. When they say that, they think they're offending me, but they tell me my heritage.
Yeah,
that's why it's important that we have these conversations, because I know that she was probably hurt, and if it was said to her brother, that brother was ready to take up arms. You get me? Because we'd be ready, and it's kind of like my heart goes out for the lack of knowledge, like for the lack of knowledge of the Most High. This is why we perish.
Yep.
This is why we perish, because if we knew our history, man, they could say whatever they wanted to say, and we know the truth, so it doesn't matter.
Right.
But because we're ignorant and we don't seek, this is why these issues keep ensuing. And this is why they have any type of power, any type of stronghold. Because Christ said, well, we got the power to take down strongholds. And David moved like he had the power to take down strongholds, bro. We have a real live example. He was like, Most High, can I go do this? Or should I go do this? And Most High was like, yeah, I got you. Let's go. Or the Most High, or David was like, yo, they took everything. Let me pray, go seek up, put the ephod on real quick, pray to the Most High. Can we go take it back? He's like, yeah, we got it. You did what you needed to do. Now we're on the right page. Now let's move forward. The Most High has always been about, after he put us into captivity, on getting us out. It's always been like that. It's always been positioned like that. Think about the scriptures. Every time we was put into captivity, the next thing was, okay, Israel coming out of captivity, being refulfilled back. It was always about bringing us back. And to say that we're in the final Jubilee, this is the final one. This is the final time that we're going through captivity. And we need this knowledge. Like, because it really does hurt me, man. Like, I know, like, if I could picture a sister coming down, breaking down in tears right now.
Hey,
brother, who she is.
Brother, I experienced that with my cousin. My cousin was going through, some of her classmates was calling her the N-word. I was just sitting down with her and explaining to her that she shouldn't, take it that way. And then the day after, you made that video, and then I send it to her. So, hey, brother.
Is he just breaking up on my behalf?
I kind of. I heard him.
You heard him clear? All right, then. I want to say it's clear for the playback. It is what it is.
Speak again, bro.
Me?
Yeah.
My brother, I got my cousin. She was, I think last week, she was in her class, and one of her classmates was calling her the N-word. And then she was breaking down with tears. I saw her. And then I was speaking with her.
Mm-hmm.
And, tried to tell her that she shouldn't take it that personally. And, I was, trying to, explain it on, on the biblical way. But the day after, all praise to the Most High, he was making that video where he was going deeper into all praise to the Most High.
All praises to the Most High.
All praises.
That's crazy. I was just about to pull it up. I was like, yo, did I make that 2 weeks ago? Like, was that like all the same time? That's wild. All praises.
Not a
man.
week, but the day before you was making, the video.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that's crazy. And the spirit be moving.
Yeah.
The spirit be moving. This is us breaking those chains, yo. My joint is wilding out.
We
But
living
you
in a
know what? We
time.
gotta fix this right here. I'm tired of this.
We living in a
This is
time now where
we got
the
something for them,
name
bro.
the name callers and things like that, it's not really gonna be too much of an effect on us. The more and more that Israel started to arise, we start to understand that even their language, period, the language that they got, it's babble. It's all confusion.
He said
And
we will learn the truth in a stammering tongue.
yep,
And it says that we
yep.
won't be taken away by people that we don't even understand their language.
Like just imagine brothers and sisters that know the certain wordplay that they get given us, and we start to use that against them, because no matter how much they smile in our face, you piss them off, sooner or later that word though them words gonna come out. And when them words come out, because that's their only weapon besides war weapons, when you start to realize who you are, they bring those words up. They don't bother you as much no more. Actually, when you're able, like the word Niger or nigger, once you
Mm-hmm.
know that mean king, it's almost like you know what I'm talking about when you get those ones that they want to say the word just but try to make it seem as if they're saying it to be cool to show you that they're cool with you, but you know what they really trying to say. When they start bringing up certain words and you know what that mean, you can give them a uh, a better mind frame on it by having your own mind frame, I should say, a better mind frame.
Yeah, real quick. Uh, Devon Lee wants to. What's your last words?
Yeah.
Yeah, family. This been a great build, man. And I appreciate y'all. Y'all already know the vibes, man. Nothing but peace and blessings whenever we do get together and communicate, man. It's all love, family. All love.
All
I
love.
appreciate everybody in the chat as well for tuning in, man. I gotta to say I hopped on. I had to make some time available once I seen this topic, man. I wanted to jump in here, so thankful to my brother. His will is real for letting me get in tune with this topic tonight. Very powerful build, man. Shout out to all the brothers in the faith, man. Shout out to all the brothers putting in the work. Brother Leon, Brother Nelly, Brother His Will is Real, Mark, New Breed, Stevie, Rilo, Ringo, man. Everybody in the waves, Cool Gent that's doing the work and using these apps and tools that we got to actually further the kingdom, man. It's much appreciated, and we never know who we helping out. So all I'm saying is, brothers, whatever come about us, whatever trials, whatever tribulations, whoever mocking us, man, we correspond with the Most High, knowing that He's behind us, and we just keep on moving forward.
To
So,
the top we shall rise.
yeah, no.
Right.
Hey,
Man, brother Devon Lee,
man.
yeah, it's been a blessing having you on. You know, it's been a blessing, man. Thank you
Always,
so much for popping up. Thank you so much, bro.
All
Till
praise,
next time, y'all.
Till
All
next
praise.
time.
peace and blessings.
Peace,
Hit
peace.
us. Hit us with it, bro. Come on.
Oh
Keep that up
man.
out of there on us.
Peace and blessings, my
Yes, sir.
people.
Man,
Yeah,
I've been on here
well,
2 hours, so I think
yeah.
I am gonna shut it down, brother. Nelly, you got any last words before we jump up out of here?
Hey, to build on what Leon was talking about, the word. Hey, the word. Sometimes when people was like I was having a soccer match, we was playing a soccer match, and one of the other players was I think I was passed I was the ball I was passed by him, and then we scored a goal, and then we were celebrating, and then he was saying the N word, and then my teammates were starting saying, "Oh, you can't let him say that. Oh, don't let him say that." And I was just smiling. I was just saying, get back, get back.
My bad. I ran out without doing it. My bad.
He definitely hit
That's
it.
right, man. That's only right. Peace and blessings, my people. Peace and blessings.
Oh,
I love y'all, man. Stay up, man.
oh, praises.
Now you're free to go. All right. Man, you can't make a staple outro like that and leave the people hanging. You can't do that. But back to what you were saying, Nelly. No, my bad, family. My bad.
Just to make this story short, I was just, like the word pride is the devil.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I didn't take it personally. Like you were saying, Israel. The word doesn't hit no more. Word doesn't hit no more. So yeah, man, it has been an honor to be here, building with y'all brothers.
Always an honor.
All praise.
All praises. Brother Nelly, thank you for showing up. You already know. You already know what's up. Anytime I'm in here, you can always come in. It's always an honor, a big honor to have the young brothers around. Y'all gonna be the ones that set the next tone, and it's up to a lot of us to make sure that y'all on the right path when y'all do it. Thank you so much, bro.
And peace.
Peace. Yeah. First off, before I even say my goodbyes, Israel, I'm going to hit you up after this, and we're going to talk about getting everything situated so we straight if you got time for it. All right, just so we can keep things smooth. All right, to the people, man, to the people. Let's take away from these white students saying these crazy ass things, doing blackface. Essentially doing blackface and other ways and things of that sort. Reclaim your throne. Reclaim your crown. Guess what? The only person who could do that is the Most High. No shock there. And I keep saying this, but I mean it full and wholehearted. You cannot, repeat, you cannot put your strength in anything else. You've been putting your strength, your might, your soul, your heart into this government, into education, into money, into your own thoughts and ideas. But you have not once considered what happens if I put all my strength, might, into the Most High and what He told me to do and what He promised me. And I say this, everyone to the chat, everyone who catches this at bat, challenge the Most High. See what happens when you follow that word. Yes, there's going to be trials and tribulations. There already is trials and tribulations. This world already overtaxed you. They put over a whole bunch of extra burdens on you. So you're already burdened. But we can switch the load. We can switch the yoke. We can switch the direction. If you really think it's Kwam Yasharah, you really think Israel's going to rise, you really think you're going to get on top, following the Most High, you got to be about it, and I say it. And turn your heart to the Most High. That's really all I have to say to you, family. Because it ain't nothing else. There is no other options. Doing what you've been doing is how you've been here. So you want to get out of where you at, you got to change. I'm telling you, you only going to change and do better and have nice and righteous things is by doing the righteous works. All right. I don't want to make this long-winded. So with that being said, shalom and peace.
Peace, brother. Peace. Yeah. Y'all make sure to check them brothers out. I'm pretty sure majority of people in the chat already know, but that was Brother Leon the Servant with his co-host Divine Lee, artist. Check them brothers out on Brew Talk Table. They got some good stuff cooking up there. Shout out to the Power Circle. Shout out to Brother Rollo on the 7 Talk, Cool Gen H7, Black Male Advice TV, Brother Ringo, New Breed. Shout out to the brothers that are doing music content all over the world. Shout out to Righteous Reaction. Y'all go check that brother out too. Um, my final things, final thoughts I'm gonna say is Israel, come back to the Most High. That's your only choice. There's no way around it. He's our only power. He's our only truth that we can have. Thanks again for coming on. This is your brother. His will is real. And I'll come at you with another impelling idea. Shalom.